Hey everyone, welcome back to K-Korner, the channel where we dive into the wild world of entitled people and their unbelievable stories. Hope you enjoy it, and without further ado, let's go. To premise, I am a 25-year-old transgender man, and my boyfriend is also a 25-year-old transgender man. Last week, we were going to visit his parents on his stepfamily's land. They are the country but not from the South type of people, and my boyfriend grew up in what he has described as the middle of nowhere. My boyfriend is very much what I would call a punk cowboy. He is very anarchistic, very for the people, has a heart of gold, and is just a wonderful and lovely guy. He has told me how bad his parents can be when it comes to being racially ignorant, but I had met them before, so I figured I could handle it since they had never really been that bad. This time was different. My boyfriend's parents came up from Florida, where they live, to visit. We decided to see them since my boyfriend's pet rat had recently passed away, and we wanted to bury him where my boyfriend grew up. We were going to camp out on his stepfamily's land. Before burying his rat, we did not even make it to the tent. For some extra context on his stepfather, let's call him Bob, a fake name. Bob peaked in high school and is a self-reported nice guy. He would befriend girls to get them to date him, and then when they did not, he would verbatim say, "But I was such a nice guy." Do you see the problem here? With Bob being like this, he has checked a lot of other bigotry boxes, and he loves to talk down to people he sees as weaker or lesser than him. He speaks as though he is one step ahead of you, puts words in your mouth, and will constantly use strawman arguments or character assassination just to prove a non-existent point. His ego is much larger than his actual intellect, and it shows with how he pulled me into an argument about transgender people in front of his transgender stepson. Now I am black. I am also autistic and have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So I talk with my hands a lot. I gesture a ton. We will come back to that later, as it is relevant. Constantly during the conversation, he kept interrupting me, assuming what I was about to say, making assumptions about my points or intentions, and constantly trying to talk over me to the point where I got frustrated with how many negative traits he was projecting onto me. He would say things like, "Oh, so you think I'm stupid," after I would tell him, the reason why I was explaining my speech patterns is because I have had people misunderstand my lack of tone for attitude. Again, autism. Like, "Sir, where in that sentence did I say you were stupid?" The entire time when he saw that I was getting frustrated, he was smirking like he was winning some kind of game. The conversation continued, and Bob finally pulled a microaggression as old as time. He got angry that I was shooting down some of his points and said that I was being aggressive just because I talk with my hands. I am not going to go over microaggressions here, but if you do not know, do a Google search and specifically research the angry black woman trope. I clocked that and just said, without missing a beat, "That's racist." And boy, how they, stepfather and mother, clutched their pearls. They immediately denied it, even though they had been racist before, not in front of my face, had asked me weirdly personal questions, and after this current incident managed to say even more racist nonsense. At one point, my boyfriend's mother literally asked, "What is his ancestry?" They truly have been treating me like 3/5 of a person, yet they have never heard of a compromise before. His stepfather told me to get out, and I took a walk. I later found out that he was talking to both of us, especially since my boyfriend had agreed with me out loud, and had mentioned that he thought they had said and done racist things previously. It has been almost a week since then, and we decided to bury Draco, the rat, near our apartment instead. Since the blow-up, his stepfather blocked my boyfriend behind his mother's back. She did not know at first, and when he went to talk to his mother today, his stepfather ignored him completely. We just continue to laugh about this because he refuses to communicate like an adult. He plays high school games because he peaked in high school and has done nothing but abuse the stepchildren he can get away with abusing. The things he has done in the past to my boyfriend and his brother always make me broil with anger. Currently, my boyfriend is healing and learning to have a bit of self-worth. His parents, especially his stepfather, have always been terrible, but he is finally at a place where they hold no power over him anymore, and he can set boundaries. I am proud of him. So I have a short story for everyone. When I discovered this subreddit, this story immediately came rushing back to my mind, and I decided to share it here. This was a few years back, around 2021, when COVID-19 was still a big thing. Trust me, it's relevant. I have autism and go to a day program for people with mental disorders. It's a community support group, which means we basically go out into the community and do things like shopping, volunteering, etc., in order to get us used to interacting with the outside world. During the height of the pandemic, the support group had downsized it to a one-on-one setup. A direct support professional, DSP, would pick me up from my house and we'd go do something for the day. One of those days, I decided to get myself some lunch at Amato's, a small pizza chain in Maine, before heading home. I went in by myself, as my DSP stayed in her car. I wasn't expecting to be there long, so she felt it was okay for me to go in alone. I ordered my food, grabbed myself a soda from the fridge, and began my wait for my order to be done. I scrolled through Twitter. This was before I left Twitter, to pass the time and keep my mind from wandering to places I didn't want it to. Anxiety is fun. All was normal for a bit, but I soon heard someone yelling near the entrance to my right. I turned my head towards the commotion to see the entitled person of the story standing there with two Amato's employees trying to get him out of the building. The entitled person was an average-looking guy in a black baseball cap, a plain t-shirt and sweatpants. We shall refer to him as Entitled Man, or M for short. At that time, Maine still had a mask mandate in place, and of course, EM here decided he didn't have to wear a mask. You can imagine why having an angry man without a mask in a place that sells food isn't exactly ideal. But of course, M wasn't about to be told by teenagers that he couldn't endanger the public. "I don't have to wear a darn mask," M insisted. "Sir, it's store policy," Amato's employee number 1 said. "Shut the heck up, I have a right to not wear a mask," M snarled. This was so long ago that what happened next is kind of fuzzy, I admit. I do remember there was a lot of cussing, proclamation of his rights, and insistence he didn't need to wear a mask despite both employees telling him repeatedly that he did. I should also mention that M was with what I assumed to be his friends, both of whom were actually masked, believe it or not. One of them tapped M on the shoulder and said, "M, just wait outside and we'll order." A reasonable request from a friend who just wanted to get their pizza and leave. But naturally, it was not reasonable enough for their belligerent friend to stop verbally abusing the staff. "Heck no, they can't kick me out. I know my rights," M insisted. "I have a right to not wear a mask." His friends were clearly embarrassed. I remember seeing them look at each other like, "He's gonna get us thrown out, isn't he?" as their friend continued to cause a scene. A few more moments of the two employees and his friends trying to coax him into leaving passed before M made a discovery that flew him into an even more intense rage. I hadn't mentioned it until now, but both employees were wearing plastic face shields instead of masks. Apparently, during the confrontation, one of the employees had lifted his face shield so it was on top of his head instead of covering his face, and M apparently objected to this. "You aren't even wearing it right," M screamed without a hint of irony. "You stupid idiot, you think you can give me grief over not wearing a mask when you don't even wear yours, right? You should be thrown out." I just stood there, thinking how insane it was that this dude was at once arguing he shouldn't have to wear a mask while criticizing someone else for not wearing one properly. The employees had no response, and just went back to trying to lightly nudge him out the door, as he continued to curse at them. Eventually, M had enough and decided to leave, but not before telling everyone he was never coming back there again, calling us all a homophobic slur for wearing masks, and violently slamming the door behind him. An awkward silence followed. No one in there knew what to say or even do, but eventually, things returned to normal, and orders started being called again, mine being among them. My order was finally ready, and just wanting to get out of there after that whole ordeal. I left and got into the DSP's car. As she drove me home, I told her all about the whole thing. I remember we shared a laugh, and she told me, "Now I have a story to tell people when I get home." Enjoying the stories yet? If you do, please subscribe, like, and comment. I never thought I'd end up in a situation like this, but here I am telling you about the day I encountered the most entitled person I've ever met. It was a sunny afternoon, and I was out for a walk in the local park. I had my headphones on, enjoying some music and minding my own business. That's when I first noticed her, a woman probably in her mid-30s, holding up a phone on a selfie stick and talking animatedly to it. As I got closer, I realized she was recording herself for some kind of video. I tried to walk around her, but she suddenly turned and blocked my path. "Woman, hey there, you look perfect for my video. Want to be in it?" Me. "Oh no thank you. I'm just out for a walk." Woman. "Come on, it'll be fun. I have a big YouTube channel, and this could be your chance to be famous." I couldn't help but chuckle at her enthusiasm, but I really wasn't interested in being on camera. Me. "That's nice, but I'm not comfortable being in videos." "Thanks anyway." I tried to step around her, but she moved to block me again. Woman. "Don't be shy, it's just a quick video. You'll love it." Me. I said, "No thank you, please let me pass." Her friendly demeanor suddenly changed. Her eyes narrowed, and her voice took on a sharp edge. "Woman, do you know who I am? I have thousands of followers. You should be honored I'm asking you to be in my video." I was starting to get irritated now. Who did this woman think she was? Me. "Look, I don't care how many followers you have." I said no, and that should be enough. "Now please let me continue my walk." Woman. "You're just jealous, you wish you had my success." At this point, I was done being polite. I tried to push past her, but she grabbed my arm. Me. "Let go of me right now or I'll call for help." Woman. "You ungrateful little witch. Do you know how many people would kill to be in my videos?" Before I could react, she raised her hand and slapped me hard across the face. The sound echoed through the park, and I stumbled back in shock. Me. "What the hell is wrong with you?" I touched my cheek, feeling it sting from the impact. I couldn't believe what had just happened. People nearby had started to notice the commotion and were gathering around us. Woman. "That's what you get for being so rude. I'm trying to give you an opportunity, and you throw it back in my face." "You're insane, you just assaulted me." Woman. "Oh please, it was just a little slap. Stop being so dramatic." By now a small crowd had formed around us. Some people were filming with their phones, while others looked on in confusion and concern. Random bystander. "What's going on here?" Woman. "This jealous witch refused to be in my video, and then attacked me. I was just defending myself." Me. "That's a lie, she slapped me because I wouldn't be in her stupid YouTube video." The woman turned to the crowd, putting on a show of being the victim. Woman. "Can you believe how this girl is treating me? After all I've done for her." Me. "You haven't done anything for me. I don't even know you." Woman. "See how ungrateful she is. This is what's wrong with young people today." I was stunned by her audacity. How could she stand there and lie so blatantly? Me. "Is anyone seeing this? She's completely making this up." Some people in the crowd started murmuring, and I could see them taking sides. To my horror, some seemed to be buying the woman's act. Random bystander. "Maybe you should apologize to her. She seems really upset." Me. "Apologize?" She slapped me. Woman. "I barely touched her. She's exaggerating everything." I felt like I was in some kind of Twilight Zone. How could people be falling for this? Me. "This is insane. I'm calling the police." Woman. "Go ahead, they'll arrest you for assault." As I reached for my phone, an elderly lady pushed through the crowd and approached me. "Old lady, don't let her get away with this, dear." Me. "Thank you, finally. Someone who believes me." Old lady. "Of course I believe you. I saw the whole thing." The old lady turned to face the entitled woman, her eyes narrowing. Old lady. "You should be ashamed of yourself, young lady. Hitting someone and then lying about it. In my day we had respect for others." Woman. "Mind your own business, grandma. This doesn't concern you." Old lady. "It concerns me when I see injustice." The old lady then turned back to me, a glint in her eye. Old lady. "You know what you should do, give her a taste of her own medicine. Slap her back, just like she did to you." I was taken aback by the suggestion. Me. "What? No, I can't do that. It's wrong, and I'd be no better than her." Old lady, sometimes you have to stand up for yourself, dear. Show her she can't push people around. Woman, ha, she wouldn't dare. She knows I'd sue her for everything she's got. The crowd was getting more agitated now, with people taking sides and arguing amongst themselves. I felt overwhelmed and didn't know what to do. Me. Look, I just want to leave. This has gotten completely out of hand. Woman, oh no, you're not going anywhere until you apologize and agree to be in my video. She stepped closer, getting right in my face. I could feel her breath on me, and I instinctively took a step back. Me, get away from me. Don't touch me again, woman, or what? You can't do anything to me. I'm untouchable, the old lady spoke up again, her voice firm. Old lady, young lady, I'm warning you. Back off now, or there will be consequences. Woman, stay out of this, you old bat. The woman turned back to me, her eyes wild with anger and entitlement. Woman, this is your last chance. Be in my video or I'll make your life miserable. I have connections, you know. I can ruin you. I'd had enough. This woman was clearly unhinged, and I needed to get out of this situation. Me. That's it. I'm calling the police right now. I pulled out my phone and started dialing. The woman's eyes widened, and for the first time I saw a flicker of fear cross her face. Woman, you wouldn't dare, me. Watch me. As I put the phone to my ear, the woman lunged at me, trying to grab my phone. I dodged her and she stumbled, nearly falling to the ground. Woman, give me that phone, old lady. That's assault. I saw it with my own eyes. The crowd erupted into chaos. Some people tried to restrain the woman, while others yelled at me to run. I could hear the police operator's voice on the phone asking about the emergency. Me. Hello? Yes, I need help. I'm at the park on Main Street, and I've been assaulted by a woman who's now trying to attack me again. Woman, you little liar. Give me that phone. She made another grab for me. But this time, a couple of bystanders held her back. Random bystander. Calm down, lady. The police are coming. You need to stop this now. Woman, let go of me. Do you know who I am? I'll have all of you arrested. I continued talking to the police operator, giving them details about what had happened and where we were located. The woman was still yelling and struggling against the people holding her. Woman, this isn't fair. I'm the victim here. She's ruining everything, old lady. The only thing ruined is your reputation, young lady. And you did that all by yourself. As we waited for the police to arrive, the woman's anger seemed to turn to panic. She started looking around wildly, as if searching for an escape route. Woman, you can't do this to me. My followers will hear about this. You'll all be sorry. Me, your followers, is that all you care about? Woman, my channel is my life. You're destroying everything I've worked for. Me, you did that yourself when you decided to assault someone for not wanting to be in your video. The sound of sirens in the distance made the woman freeze. Her face paled, and she suddenly looked much smaller than she had before. Woman, no, 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 this can't be happening. As the police car pulled up to the park, the woman made one last desperate attempt to save face. Woman, wait, it was just a misunderstanding. We can work this out. Me, it's too late for that. You had your chance to walk away, but you chose to escalate things. The police officers approached us, taking in the scene. Police officer, what's going on here? Before I could speak, the woman burst into tears. Woman, officer, thank goodness you're here. This girl attacked me for no reason. Me, that's not true at all. She slapped me because I wouldn't be in her video, and then she tried to attack me again when I called the police. Old lady, I saw the whole thing, officer. This young lady is telling the truth. That woman is the aggressor. The police officers looked between us, clearly trying to sort out the situation. Police officer, all right, let's everyone calm down. We're going to need statements from all of you. As the officers began taking statements from me, the woman, and several witnesses, I couldn't help but feel a mix of relief and disbelief. What had started as a simple walk in the park had turned into this bizarre confrontation with an entitled stranger. The woman was still protesting, but her voice had lost its earlier confidence. Woman, this isn't fair. Don't you know who I am, police officer? Ma'am, please calm down. We'll get your side of the story, but right now you need to stop yelling. As one officer led the woman away to take her statement separately, the other turned to me. Police officer, are you all right? Do you need medical attention? Me. No, I'm okay, just a bit shaken up. Police officer, I understand. Can you tell me exactly what happened? I recounted the events, from the woman's initial request to be in her video, to the slap and her subsequent behavior. The officer took notes, nodding as I spoke. Police officer, thank you for your statement. We'll be following up on this, and you may be contacted for further information. As things began to calm down and the crowd started to disperse, I found myself standing with the old lady who had supported me throughout the ordeal. Old lady, you handled yourself well, dear. Don't let people like that push you around. Me. Thank you for your help. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't spoken up. Old lady, sometimes all it takes is one person to stand up to a bully. Remember that. As I watched the police car drive away with the entitled woman in the back seat, I couldn't help but shake my head at the absurdity of it all. What kind of person thinks they can assault someone and then play the victim? I thanked the old lady once more, and finally continued on my walk, my head spinning from the events of the day. As I put my headphones back on and tried to return to my peaceful afternoon, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd just experienced something truly surreal. Who knew a simple no could lead to such chaos? Thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more captivating stories. Share your own experiences and opinions in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay tuned for more epic tales.